All right, we're returning to the story that we were tracking in West Bengal, where you have the CBI that has just arrested the senior TMC leader, Anubrata Mondal, also a key aide of Mamata Banerjee, the chief minister in West Bengal. We're receiving some inside details of the arrest itself. We're learning that Mondal had locked himself in the second floor of his house. He'd locked the room from the inside and he'd refused to sign the arrest memo. It was only after he was told the paramilitary forces will be breaking open the door that he actually came out. These are the details that we're receiving from my colleagues who are present on the ground right now. Now, very quickly, let's go over to my colleague Ashish Mehrishi. He's with us right now to bring us more details on this entire story. Ashish, our audiences already know that it was for multiple months that you'd seen Anubrata ignore the CBI summons. Now we're receiving these details. How should our audiences interpret them?
So Anubrata Mondal was not very keen to show himself before the CBI. We already know that a number of summons were issued to him. And finally, when the CBI was not left with any option but to come to his door, that is why they have now come over. And, we've already seen that CBI has taken Anubrata Mondal away for questioning now. But, what we are learning from our sources in the CBI is that as of now, when the CBI team came into his house, he locked himself inside a room on the second floor, and he said that he's not going to go with the CBI team. But ultimately, the CBI team told him that they will have no other option but to break open the door with the help of the paramilitary forces, that he came out and then he went away with the CBI team. So certainly, he was not very willing to go because he was anticipating that whenever he goes to CBI, in all likelihood, he would be arrested. And that is why he was avoiding. But now we've already seen the CBI knocking his door in the morning today and being taken away.
Okay, Ashish, thank you for those details. For our audiences, we have more breaking news related to this story. Earlier, we'd heard from Biswajit Deb from the TMC. He'd made a similar statement. Now we're receiving news that other sources in the Trinamool Congress are saying the same, which is that they're saying that they will not tolerate any corruption. If anybody is proven guilty, law will take its course. My colleague Kamalika Sengupta with us right now to give us more context. Kamalika, if you could explain to our audiences, we right now heard from Biswajit Deb from the TMC. He had said very similar. But Kamalika, doesn't this approach put the TMC on its back foot? Essentially what they're saying is when central agencies take action, then we will also take action. We'll also distance ourselves from these leaders. But they're not promising to take any proactive action, are they?
No, actually, if you see both the cases, both Partha Chatterjee and Anubrata Mondal case, in Partha Chatterjee, we have seen Trinamool Congress taking a very strong step because Partha Chatterjee was the Secretary General of Trinamool Congress. Yes, this question is obviously there that the circumstantial evidence, so much of money visuals that came up actually forced the party inside from, party was in pressure from inside and from outside to take the decision. The party has taken that decision. But in terms of Anubrata Mondal case also, this, non-cooperation is a circumstantial evidence. So right away from the very first moment, I have been talking to all the senior leaders of a lot of senior leaders of Trinamool Congress. And what I'm getting it from my sources is that this time also they are, their one thing is very clear that sets for everybody. That's what they're trying to project, is that somebody who is corrupted has no place in Trinamool Congress. That's what they're trying to project. Now, the thing is that Anubrata Mondal was the TMC Birbhum chief and he was also in the working committee. So whether they are going to take steps on party basis, that they will take time as time comes in, as what happens to Anubrata Mondal in future, in near future, like in 2-3 days, they will have a monitor, they will keep close monitoring on that. So my sources are telling me anybody who is corrupted, if Anubrata Mondal is corrupted, then Anubrata Mondal will not find any place in the party, just as others also, anybody, Tom, Dick, Harry, anybody who has this corruption things and who is, circumstantial evidence is showing that there are some indications, then party will not have any relation with that person. But at the same time, conspiracy theory will be there in the background. They're trying to show that, Trinamool Congress is a party. Whoever is, even if there is an iota of question that person might be guilty, steps will be taken. That's what they're trying to project. Kamalika. And second, they'll obviously have a back-end conspiracy theory. But Whether steps will be taken against Anubrata Mondal or not, that we'll have to really wait for 1 or 2 days. As during Partha Chatterjee time also, we have to wait for 1 or 2 days.
Kamalika,
So
just
for
stay
around
with us
7
though.
days
I want to
after
go over
which
to our West
steps
Bengal
were
Bureau
taken.
Chief Shugata Mukhopadhyay also for context here. Shugata, when we're hearing the TMC say again and again, anybody who is corrupt, we will take action against them. For the ordinary citizen of West Bengal who was shaken by those images coming out of Partha Chatterjee's house, in both these leaders' cases, one side Partha Chatterjee, on the other side Anubrata Mondal, both key aides, close aides of Mamata Banerjee, the question arises, how is it possible that the TMC Supremo was not aware of such corruption? Is it enough to say that you show us and then we'll take action? Why weren't more proactive measures before taken? Is this question also being asked? Is this sentiment being raised?
Well, you see, these perceptions have always been there. And it has been up to the Trinamool Congress and its leadership, especially the party supremo, Mamata Banerjee, to confront those perceptions on the ground. I mean, that is how Toya politics is played, is it not? Because, the perceptions are countered by the political parties, and based on those counters, they go and fight elections, and then they get people's mandate or not. And here, the Trinamool Congress, for the last, from 2011 onwards, have been getting the people's support, have been getting the people's mandates, save and except perhaps in 2019 general elections, where, the party suffered, a jolt in the hands of the BJP when the BJP got those 19 out of the, or rather 18 seats out of the 42 seats that are up for grabs. So obviously, besides that one, hiccup, the Trinamool, it has been Trinamool Congress all the way. And based on those experiences, political experiences, the party will obviously formulate a policy, a strategy to control and manage public perceptions. And that is how it has been playing it for the last, couple of months now. And when Partha Chatterjee was, in fact, arrested, and those images of cash pouring out from the house of Arpita Mukherjee came out, the party took some action, and that action entitled the removal of Partha Chatterjee from all posts, except the fact that he currently now remains a simple MLA in Bengal. So obviously, there is this strategy to counter the perception that is built in public sphere, in public domain. But it is a fact, Toya, that these questions are the murmurs of these questions are getting louder than before. No doubt about that. And with back-to-back instances of both Partha Chatterjee and Anubrata Mondal, obviously the Trinamool Congress is aware of the fact that these murmurs will even get louder. So it has two obvious challenges in front of it. One, to confront the political attack by the opposition. The BJP has already come out with its ammunition, its blazing guns. Amit Malviya has tweeted just a short while back that the buck actually stops at Mamata Banerjee. That's his allegation, the party's allegation, the BJP's allegation. And then there is the left, the Congress, the other, the political opposition in the state, who will continue to fire their salvo at the Trinamool Congress in the wake of these latest developments that are taking place. So one challenge is to counter the political attack in the state, in the political domain of West Bengal. The other challenge, and perhaps the bigger challenge for the Trinamool Congress, obviously, is how to counter and manage the deteriorating public perception vis-a-vis the charges of corruption that are being slapped on the Trinamool Congress party and some of its leaders. Only yesterday, Toya, the party leaders, some of the party leaders held a press conference at the Bengal Assembly premises. That included leaders like Bratya Basu, Arup Biswas, Firhad Hakim, so on and so forth, who were apparently named in a petition, for having disproportionate assets.